What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Sovereign Knight PX exclusive Batman. Here we do have Batman in his collective tin, which I really am digging this collective tin. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and then we'll have a better look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective Sovereign Knight Batman. And so here we have the Mezco PX Batman posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast, because this Batman does come with quite a lot. He does come with 4 different head sculpts. He comes with a cowl with the long ears. He comes with a cowl with short ears. He comes with a battle-damaged cowl. And then he comes with an unmasked Bruce Wayne head. Batman also does come with 11 hands sporting a pair of fists, a pair of style pose hands, a pair of grip hands, a pair of trigger finger hands, a pair of hands to hold the batarangs, and then we get a right hand with a kryptonite duster knuckle, as it does say in the packaging. Batman here also does come with quite a few bat gadgets. We do of course get his grapnel gun, which fits in his trigger finger hand, and it also does fit on the back of his utility belt. It also does come with 2 different grapple hooks. It comes with a grapple hook that just slides in, and then comes with a grapple hook with a rope, which I'm not going to display it with because that rope is pretty long. Batman also does come with a sonic disruptor. He also does come with 1 big batarang. He also does come with 10 smaller batarangs, which of course do fit in his batarang holding hands really well. He does come with a bat drone, which is sculpted really well and has articulated wings. Batman also does come with a Mezco stand with a bat emblem on it, and you do get an adjustable arm, plus an accessory that you can clip on wires to have his cape spread out. I just don't see myself ever displaying that. And that's everything Batman comes with. He comes with a lot of gadgets and a lot of different accessories, so I am glad about that. So what we're going to do now is actually have a closer look at Batman. And so here we have a closer look at Batman, and Mezco did a phenomenal job on this head sculpt. You can see it is Batman. Whenever you think of Batman from the comic books, this is pretty much how you picture him, and I really do like it. I was going to get the standard issue of the Sovereign Knight Batman. However, I didn't like the way the suit looked in the final product, and I was more looking forward to the PX edition, and I'm really glad I have it. Even though the cowl is a dark blue instead of black, I think I can live with the dark blue, seeing as how that is how Batman's drawn plenty of times. And that head sculpt looks really good. You can see going all the way around. We do have some panel lining. Makes me wonder what they're going to do with the Supreme Knight Batman, and you can see some more texturing in his cowl. I do like the fact that the neck piece is plastic, and then we do get a fabric cape right here. It just looks really, really good. The neck piece is actually done really well. You can see some more detailing right here. This is probably one of my favorite Batman that I own in my collection, despite having quite a few. So, looking at his detail, they did go with the big yellow bat symbol, which I'm perfectly okay with. It does look nice. It's sculpted really, really well and painted really cleanly. You can see there's some gloss on the black, and then we have some matte paint for the yellow. Just looks really, really good. And I even love the suit that they went with. Even though it's all panel lined, it looks really good. And like I said, I was looking forward to the standard release, but then when they showed it off, it didn't really impress me. This one impresses me much more just because of how nice it looks, and you can see all those little pleather-like pieces that they do simulate body armor, although I don't think you would have armor that's spread out. It does seem like you can get in there pretty easy, and you don't want to make it too easy for criminals. Going on to his gauntlets. The gauntlets are actually done in plastic. They're not fabric, so I do like that. And they do have some detailing on them, so we do have some panel lines that look really good. We also get what looks like a strap on the wrist, so maybe it's a glove and the gauntlet. We also do get the spikes at the bottom of it, although they are a little warped out of packaging. I would recommend using hot water to get these a little bit straight, because you don't want to take a hairdryer to pleather. You can see he does have his fist, and again we have some armor detail right here. Just a lot of nice texturing in the glove. Taking a look at his utility belt, it does look really good, and we can see some pouches here. I like that it's a floating piece, but at the same time I kind of wish it was about right there, because that's about how low I would prefer it, because that looks like it's riding a little bit too high. You can adjust it as you need, but it will of course rise as you mess with it. Just going on to the rest of the costume, you can see just how nice this pleather detailing looks, and I really do love it. This is how I wanted the standard issue to look, but unfortunately they didn't do that. One thing I do like is that his knee pads are plastic, although you don't want to be tugging on these because it does feel like you can rip these out if you apply enough force. We have boots which are done fantastic. You can see all the armor plating. It's just like Batman is a more seasoned crime fighter, and he upped his game. And that's actually the story Mezco is going with. We have the Ascending Knight, we have the Sovereign Knight right here, and then we will be getting the Supreme Knight sometime next year. Just look at those boots. Those are really nice boots. Now, one thing I didn't want to save till the last is this cape. It's a really big cape. You can see just how much of it comes out, and something I do like is that if you really want to, you can drape it over Batman's shoulders and just get that really menacing Batman look. Although you do see a little bit of creases on the cape, you can get those out, and if you don't want to have them pose like that, you can of course fold the cape back like so, and it does a really good job maintaining its shape, so I do appreciate Mezco for doing that. So with his details out of the way, let's actually get him compared to a few other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Batman posed next to a DC Multiverse Superman and a Marvel Legends Cyclops. Here we have Batman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have the Mezco Batman posed next to a DC Universe Classics Batman. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Batman's articulation. He does have a double ball peg in the head, which means we do have a ball joint going up into the head, and then we do have it going into the neck, and that does give us a lot of good range. You can see Batman can bury his head into his chest. He can look up really well. He can tilt his head side to side. We do have rotation, and I do believe his neck is also on a ball joint, so combining those two, we get pretty good range there. Of course, does swivel. Arms are, of course, on a ball joint. They do go out to about that far. I don't want to stress it any further than that because it does feel like it's getting tight right there. It goes all the way forward to about right there. That's about how far I'm willing to push it, although it goes pretty good. That's pretty good range. We do have a bicep swivel, even though it's hidden underneath the cloth. We do have a double bend at the elbow, giving us a little bit better than 90 degrees. If we pop his wrist off, you can see it is on a ball hinge, so we do get some in and out movement. We can rotate that joint to have horizontal movement, and then of course it does swivel on that joint, so pretty good movement in the hands. Now as far as his torso goes, let's see if I can show this off. He does have a ball joint in the torso, so he does get some crunch. Does get some side to side as well as some rotation. Goes back only to about there, comes forward to about there. As far as his lower torso goes, we do get a little bit of a ball joint. You can see he goes back further. If we combine both those joints, it doesn't really go that far forward. He can lean side to side really well. Rotation is only going to be at the upper joint. This joint doesn't seem to rotate as far. And I want to say do be careful because I don't know how far the pleather can stretch, so do be aware of that when you're messing around with this figure. Legs do kick forward to about there. They do kick back to about there. They do go out to the side really well. We do have a thigh swivel, which works really good, despite the fact he has a cloth suit. Knee bends perfectly. That's a really good knee joint there. And then we have a double joint. We have one joint there and a second joint there. Although you want to be careful because you can kind of bend his knee a little bit further than it should. So do be aware of that. We have a swivel at the foot. Actually, I think it's a ball joint because we do have some movement going back, a little bit movement going forward, rocker ankle, and then rotation. Nothing on the toes, so That's standard for Mezco. But other than that, it's a really nice Batman figure, and I am really impressed with what they gave us here. So what we're going to do now is actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Mezco 1/12 Collective Sovereign Knight Batman PX Edition, posed for my final thoughts. Overall, this is a really nice figure. I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Originally, when I saw this figure and the standard release, I was so sure I was going to pick it up, but after seeing how the standard release lacked a lot of finer details, I decided to pass on it. Luckily, this figure did come out, and I'm loving the PX edition more than what I think I would have enjoyed the standard release for. This is a much better figure in my opinion. Even though he's not wearing black, I think I can live with a dark blue because that's still a really iconic color for Batman. Now, he does come with a lot of accessories, and I do want to stress that you do want to be very cautious with the material that they went with. Even though the bodysuit does seem to be able to withstand some of the rigorous things you can do with it, I do want to say that the pleather might wear over time. So do be aware of how you have them posed and be cautious on how you have that leather displayed, because there is a chance it can deteriorate over time. Now, if you are looking for the PX edition of Sovereign Knight Batman, he is starting to hit comic book and specialty stores at the time I'm making this video, so a huge shout out to the good folks of Asylum Comics for getting this out to me so I could review it for you guys. Now, this guy is going to run you about $85, which is standard for Mezco, and I can see how being an exclusive figure does make him jump $5 extra, but I think it's well worth the price for this amazing figure. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Mezco videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.